Hello, hello. I'm just going to give it a couple minutes for people to jump on. I hope everyone is doing well. Hello. I hope everyone's doing well with these energies. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. Let a couple people get on. I wanted to come on a little bit earlier today, but I had a last minute reading I had to do, so I'm sorry about that. So we will give it a couple minutes and see who can join. I hope everyone is drinking a lot of water. If anyone wants to add something more to their water, you can do. I have mint and ginger, mint leaves that I rolled, and fresh ginger that I cut and put in, and some people add lemon too. It's good for, hello. It just adds a little something because I've been drinking water, so it's good to do that. I just want to talk a little bit about the energies today, and then answer any questions. I know a lot of people answered yes to the political questions that I asked, more info on 45, and they wanted more question and answers. So I'm going to give it a minute and see if a few more people can get on, and if anyone has questions, and then I will probably post this one to, I'm going to go with Telegram and YouTube, probably not Instagram, depending on what I talk about. So if you don't follow those, please follow them. Holistic Living Practice. YouTube is Holistic Living Practice, 3 separate words. Hello, hello. I will go ahead and start, and hopefully a few more people can jump on. The energy this week, especially today, is really intense. The energy of the week, first of all, has been very chaotic. It's been pretty all over the place. Some people are having difficulties with it. I just feel like, because a lot of people are getting downloads, a lot of people are getting, there's a lot releasing too. So a lot of people's crowns are opening up and third eyes. So you may have pressure. If you're already kind of on your, awakening journey, you may be feeling that more so than the ones who haven't started theirs yet. So I wanted to make that a point. Today is a really important day to be grounded, though. It's really important today to be outside, because we're just getting tons and tons of stuff coming through. And if you're not grounded, it'll make you feel crazy. It'll give you headaches, dizziness, anxiety. You'll feel it a lot in your head. Third eye, your actual eyes, your throat. Some people in their chest, but it's a lot in the upper chakras. So I wanted to talk about that, and just how the energy is affecting us. So a lot of people are purging too right now. They're getting rid of past life issues. They're getting rid of, really facing their shadow side and getting rid of a lot of that. For those who haven't started it yet, it's going to be a rougher time now, because it's going to keep circling back around. Each time it circles back around, it gets more and more intense, and more difficult. So make sure with the energy that you're really doing the work right now. It's really important to do that. Those who aren't, I'm feeling a lot of stress with them. So I wanted to talk about that. I don't want to talk too much about the details of the politics on here, because this is a spiritual community. However, people have questions. A lot of people are confused. They have questions about 45 and what happened, and what the plan is there, and what's going on with 46, who really we've talked about is not really 46, and what to expect there. So I will if anyone does have any questions, feel free to go ahead and ask. But I will say that the common ones that I see, the common confusions now that I'm seeing, are that people think he's really, is he light? Is he dark? Is he good? Is he bad? he really is of the light. He was actually, so this is part of it's such a bigger plan. And that's what's kind of hard to go into because I have to be careful what I say on here. But, you know, he really is a light worker. They came to him and approached him to be the face of this. So he really is more than anything. Right now, he's kind of just the face of what it represents for us. So a lot of people get confused about that, but you know, his role essentially was to come in, make business deals, and essentially take no shit. And that's what he did. And to be that way, you have to be a certain way to accomplish that. People don't understand that. People weren't understanding that. Hello. They don't get it. A lot of people saw him as abrasive, and you know, a lot of people, they fell into the trap of him being the one to divide people, and it's quite the opposite actually. That, you know, that was kind of a media push. So he is not that way. He wants nothing more than to save our country. He wants nothing more than to save our children in more ways than one. For those who have, you know, done a little research, you know what I'm referring to. For those that haven't, please dig into that a little bit. He needed to be a person who, like I said, took no shit. He needed to be a person who stood up to everyone and everything and didn't let it faze him. You need that kind of a personality to do that. You need it. You can't have a super soft, quiet, more in the background kind of personality. You needed someone who can get in your face respectfully, but get in your face and, not take any BS. And that's what he did. That's what his role was. So he fulfilled that. I don't know the confusion. I think the confusion is with people who are not really understanding what's going on. So they're falling into how he was made to look, how he was made to be, but really he's not. He has such a light, intense, but strong, light energy. And he does have support from other sources, other light beings that are not of this earth. He has that behind him because he's the face of the plan. He's the face of the light plan. So if anyone has any questions about that, I will answer them now. But the way I see it, you will see what's really going on there this summer. You will be able to see more of what really went on last November. You're going to be seeing over the summer. And essentially that makes 46, who's not really 46, but it essentially makes him everything you're seeing him do, and it essentially undoes it all. This was just needed to pull their heads out of the sand, okay? And I'm gonna say it very, bluntly, because a lot of people, they weren't getting it, they weren't seeing it. It's some people, most people get it now. If you really are paying attention, if you're really looking around, most people get it, but there are some that are just still stuck in the 3D. And if you're, a light worker, you're gonna kind of be surrounded probably with a lot of people who don't get it, because we need to be spread out. We're kind of spread out all over the globe, because that's how the whole space lives. We're holding down that light. A lot of people, they don't get it. So if you feel like you're one of these people, if you feel like, you're a light worker, you're meant to be here to lift the space, then most likely you don't really know many people that are like you in that regard. So you're not alone. That is a lot of people. We all feel the same way. We've all been through it. So if anyone has any questions about 45, I will answer them the best I can on here. Otherwise, I'll try to do maybe another video on it, but I know that people have a lot of questions around that, and there's a lot of confusion around that, so you will see him again. You probably you're going to be seeing him on and off, but him in power, I guess, you will be seeing that again. And it's going to set up, he's going to set up the stage for a different platform for politics. So the whole thing is going to be completely different. So people who are looking, saying, oh, in 2024 or in, no, it's going to be before 2024. There is no 2024 if what happened wasn't fixed, if what happened wasn't adjusted. Can't wait. I know we all can't wait. It's hard to be patient, but we have to try to be as patient as we can. It's everything right now is honestly divine timing. Everything is timed to a T, not only for the earth plan, but also, the divine plan. So, a lot of us who know what's going on, who have been paying attention, we're walking around going, oh my gosh, this could have happened yesterday, and we'd all, but it had to be a certain way. Because if this didn't happen this way, if it was corrected back in November, half of the planet would still be in the dark. Half of the planet would still not be awake. Half of the planet would still not understand what's going on. More like half of the US, but now it's a good amount of the globe that's awake. Like I said, we needed about, from what I saw, 60 to 65% in order to push us further. And now that we're getting more of the higher energies coming in, you're starting to feel the shifts, and there's a lot of quick shifts ahead of us. There's a lot of like this ahead of us. So you're going to have to kind of just be patient, go with it, stay grounded, make sure you're meditating, because not only is it going to be quick shifts with politics and with, stuff, tangible things, but it's also energetically. And like I said, there's going to be a good amount of people within the next 6 months, and then again within the next year and 2 years, that they're just not going to, they're not going to be able to sustain in the 3D. So the ones who are not moving their way up are going to have to move their way out. And, that's fine. They need to stay in a more denser place to learn. It's just not going to be here. So I want to keep reminding people of that, because you will be seeing that. So I don't want people to get anxious about it. I don't want people to worry about it, but I do want people to understand that is what's going to come in the future. So, but like I said, don't let it lower your vibe. Don't let it get you into an anxious place. Just let it sit in there. Keep it in the back of your mind, because it's going to help you when you start to see it. Because a lot of people who don't have it in their mind already, a lot of people who haven't heard that, who it'll be new to them, they're going to have a very difficult time. So that's where people like us come into play. So I want to try to give everyone a heads up as much as I can about things that I'm guided to share that you can handle, so that you can help other people along the way. So, but back to 45, I just want people to understand what he really represents, what his job really was, what his role was. Because it's very misunderstood. Even people in the political arena who, have a really big platform, a lot of them are still missing it. Some of them are pretty right on when it comes to just the politics of it, but they're missing the whole spiritual part. They're missing the whole thing. They understand it's light versus dark. I say light versus dark, not good versus evil. I don't like evil. I don't like that word. It's really just the absence of light. So it's really just light versus dark. They get that, but they don't understand the higher point of it. They don't understand the ascension. They don't understand what comes next. And that's what I'm trying to break down. That's what I'm trying to help guide people and show people, so that you're like one step ahead of it. So there is a lot of changes coming, but just so you know, literally right in front of us, there's a lot that's going to be boom, boom, boom. So I hope people are prepared for that. Don't let anything surprise you. I don't think our community, I don't think a lot of people are going to be super surprised by things that will come out, but they will be surprised how deep it goes. Some may be surprised how quickly it unravels and the changes that come, because, we're used to things being a certain way. We're used to how it's always been. Well, going forward is going to be nothing like how it's always been. So you have to let that go. Anyone who is still in that space of, oh, well, you know, this needs to happen in order for that to happen. No, it's not going to be like that. It's not like that now. We're in a total different place. We're going into a total different place. So you cannot compare it to anything you've ever known. And that's what's going to confuse people. That's what might stress a little, you know, some people out a little bit, make people a little anxious. But then for people like us who, you know, have a heads up, who are ready for the changes, who know more of the history, the real history of what's gone on in the world, it's going to be like a sigh of relief. And that's what we want. So if anyone has any questions about 45, spirituality, New Earth, go ahead and ask. Feel free. I'll answer whatever you have, the way that I see it. So as of now, that's how I see it for this summer. A lot is going to come out. And I do see that the fall is going to be interesting. I think October, I've said this before, October is going to be a big month. So there's going to be a lot, something big that's going to shift things in October and realign us, they're saying. So I don't know exactly what that is going to be, but you know, when I need to know things and when I need to share them, they show me, and then they tell me when I can, you know, share some of the things I see. So little bits at a time to try to get people, to see it and to calm anxiety and to understand that it is happening. There are things going on, even though we may not physically see it. But like I said, what's going on with, I say 46, but again, he's not really 46. Anything that's going on with him right now, that the changes he's made is going to be all undone. So I don't want people to worry about that. How can we lift the space individually? Well, the best thing you can do to lift the space individually is to just be of the light. So practice meditating, practice grounding. I really want people to understand that when you are level, when you are grounded, when you are meditating, when you're allowing everything to flow through you, when you're doing the self-work, you are such a huge beacon of light, and that's what we need. That's what a light worker is. So it's what people need to do right now, and that in itself can lift the space you're in. Trying to find like-minded people, trying to find communities like this, more spiritual based, because it's not really about politics at all. It's just, that's the tangible way that we're seeing it right now. But really it's about the spiritual side. It's about New Earth. It's about the ascension. That's what it is. So the best thing you can do is just keep yourself level, grounded, joy. Bring joy in. A lot of people, they're not feeling it. And that's what I was guided on the blog. If you read my blog on the website this week, I don't know if anyone has read it, it's holisticlivingpractice.com under the learning library. So I do it every Monday for the week. And they were so heavy on sharing that people need to bring more joy, more laughter. People need to not take everything so heavy, so seriously, not overreact. There's a lot of that going on this week. The energies are very chaotic, very, some people are extra heavy. Some I'm sensing a lot of extra stress, and those are within the ones that haven't really done a lot of the personal work yet, or some who they're awake, but they're fighting it. So they're kind of in that in-between space. They're going to be feeling it the most right now. So it's really extra important for those of us who are not in that space to make sure we hold the light, and that will just transform the space around you in itself. And do not let anyone who is not ascending bring you down. That is so important. I don't care who it is. I don't care what environment you're in. Do not let it happen. Because by keeping yourself at this higher place, that's what keeps you lifted. That's what moves you up further into the energy. And that's what transforms the space around you. So I hope that answered your question. Thoughts on Nasara? I've heard some people say it's a way to deceive people. It's not. That is real. It was supposed to be rolled out right before 9/11. And then 9/11 happened, intentionally. So there's a whole other story behind that. If you've done any research, you will know that already. There is going to be a currency change, and it is going to be backed by precious metals, gold, silver. So that is really a real thing. When you see things are going to crash here. I would say within the summer, maybe early fall. And then right after that, you're going to see kind of something else pop up. You're going to see precious metals pop. So, I'm not a financial expert by any means, but I will say what I see and guide you that way. So it really is a real thing. It's just a matter of timing. So it's kind of, because, essentially the dollar, is only worth the paper it's on. It's not it's not real. So it's the metals that are going to back the shift, if that makes sense. I know sometimes that confuses a lot of people, but currency is going to be very different. It's going to look very different. So don't stress out. I hope that answers your question. Don't stress out about that. Some people ask, do I need to, invest in that? By all means, if you want to invest in silver or however you can go, I would, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not giving any financial advice, but I will say what I see, and then you can make your decisions based on that, or you can do more research based on that. But there is going to be a currency switch. There's going to be a currency change. So true. Yes. There's a lot of changes coming. So this is actually an amazing time to be here. I know it's a little stressful, and I know that as humans, we're like, oh my God, this is just sometimes too much. But, hello. But I really want people to understand that a lot of what's coming out has never happened here before. So you can't you can't just go based on what we already know. You have to go forward into kind of an open mind and really understand that what we've never seen, we are about to see, and we're here to witness it. And for those who are not on their, they're not awakened yet, they're not onto their ascension journey, the space is lifting regardless. So those people are going to have a harder time. Those people are the types that if they don't kind of wake up within all this, and I would say within the next, like I said, 6 months, and then a year, and then 2 years. So, and then there's going to be a period where they're just not going to be allowed to be here. They're systematically, things will shift pretty quickly, but to get the whole globe to shift into a completely new system for healthcare, for finance, for education, for all that, it's going to take about 10 years. So I would say 2032-ish. So that's when it'll be like a whole new world. So for those of you just having kids, or those of us who have younger kids still, it'll be right when they're getting older. They'll be right at that time where they're going to grow up in kind of a new environment. So they're going to be able to experience both. And it's really history. This is a historical time to be here. And I hope that people understand that if you try to shift your perspective of it, if you try to shift your thoughts on it, it's what then comes in after that shifts everything. It shifts your whole body. It shifts your mindset, your mood, everything. So it's important to see it from a different perspective. I agree. 9/11 was set up. Yes. If you have not done for those who have not done any research on that, yes, 100%. And it was because of the finance, Jasara. So absolutely. And for those who still think that was what it was, it wasn't. So just understand that, and make sure everyone's drinking a lot of water. I said this at the beginning. Lots of water. I added mint leaves and ginger, and some people, just do lemon water, or you can do all. It'll help you. You're welcome. I hope that answers some of those questions. like I said, you can follow some people in the political arena, or just some people that maybe are journalists, and you may be able to pull some kind of information from them. But what you're going to be missing is the spiritual aspect. And that's really where all the information is. That's kind of where everything, I don't want to say information, but that's where everything resides, where we're going. So the most important thing you can do right now, first of all, today is a huge grounding day. So make sure you're outside. There is so much coming in. I said this at the beginning, but I'll say it again: headaches, dizziness, anxiety, throat irritation. Make sure you're just constantly drinking a lot of water. Where we are this year, it's very hot. So right now, and humid, so it's hard to be outside for long periods of time. But even just 20 minutes with your feet in the grass, make sure you're transmuting those energies, because you're transferring, and there's just so much going on, and it's hard to get into it just on one live for everything that's going on. But I try to give you bits and pieces to help you as I can. Will we see positive change this year? Yes, I'm not sure in exactly what regard you mean, but yes, I think in all regard, really. It's kind of coming out now. The whole thing that we've been in for the past year and a half with healthcare wasn't really a thing at all. It was intended to be, but didn't end up being that way. And 45 kind of had to one-up them, because he knew their plans, so he had to kind of get one step ahead with the jab. So that's why you're seeing, that's why the push for that. Like I said, I'm not here to give financial or healthcare advice, but I will say if you haven't, to just avoid it. You don't need it. It's unnecessary, and it was part of the Darker's agenda, but he had to do it for emergency, to keep it under the emergency purpose, so that you can't mandate it. That was one of the biggest reasons. And then anyone who is kind of still asleep to what's going on, they're just going to jump right to it, but that's where they're at. Still the best thing you can do, and the best thing they could do too, if they, kind of wake up, is to just raise your frequency. Because when you're up here, everything that's up here is what is going to come into your space. If you're down here, everything down here you're open to all of it. So fear, guilt, stress, anxiety, all that's all down here. So the second you fear something, you're starting to drop your frequency a little bit, and then you're going to allow the very thing that you fear right into your space, and we don't want that. So we want to keep ourselves up. So like I said, joy, gratitude is one of the best things you can do. If you can sit in the morning and be grateful for the fact that you have a back porch that you can sit on and drink your coffee or tea, the fact that you have children that you just love and they're healthy and you're all together, anything that you can be grateful for is going to bring you up, and it's just going to bring more for you to be grateful for. If you are fearful and you're in the lack where you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to have enough money, I'm never going to have, all you're going to do is draw all that right to you. Everything that you think that you are never going to have, that's what's going to create your reality. So this is what people need to understand. Our thoughts, especially right now, are kind of like at a super hyperdrive. So whatever you're thinking, you're manifesting like that. So you need to be very careful with where your mind is. Your mind is so much more powerful than you realize, especially right now. More right now than ever. I'm in Canada. I hope things turn around. Most Canadians are very asleep. I know. Oh my gosh, I'm sending you so much love and light to Canada. Hang in there. I know Canada is one of the worst areas when it comes to all this stuff. I know that, but people are waking up. There are a lot of rallies going on and a lot of events in Canada. If there's ever one by you, that might be something you could look into. Even if you don't want to go, just something that you can watch to know that you're not alone. It will change. It will change everywhere. It's not just in the United States. It's just this, what happened last November, I don't want to say the word, is going to drive the change for everything. And then when we change here, the whole world then shifts in a second. So it's kind of waiting on us. And us in the plan, so to speak. So hang in there. And I'm so grateful that you're on our on the channel and that you're in our family. Keep hang in there. Hang in there. This is all such great info and news. Oh, good. I'm glad. I wanted to really roll out. They just told me to answer it all. So that's what I'm doing. Great topics. Thank you. This is a great group. Thanks. You are welcome. So I hope people, I can do another, you're welcome. I can do another Q&A too. If you guys have more questions after watching this, I'll let some people watch this one. And then if you have more, I'll do it on, another time. I'm not going to post this here. I'm going to try not to, at least, because I don't know what exactly I can get away with. But I want people to know that it will change. It's not going to be this way forever. Don't let yourself sink into that thought either. That's a really big one. Make sure that you keep the new earth in your mind. Make sure you're doing your personal work. Make sure you're, eating clean. So make sure everything's organic, everything. Make sure you're meditating. Make sure you are grounding. So doing everything, and going more inwards towards your personal journey. That's what's going to help. And that's what's going to keep everyone moving up, which is what we want. So thank you all for joining me. I will maybe go on early next week and do another one of these. So anyone who has more questions or maybe any other detailed questions, I will be happy to answer whatever I know to be true, whatever, I can see. So as always, I'm sending everyone so much love and light. Hang in there, stay in the light, keep your vibe high. We'll all get through it. I'll be here. Okay? Sending you love.